Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Econ Kate 88, and this is part 5 of the Toledo Empty Parks series. I'm on Vinyl Street in East Toledo. That was an empty house that we just passed. Well, the City Council voted on the issue of whether or not to put the Parks Levy on the ballot, and it passed 9 votes to 3, with the only 3 members voting against it being Rob Ludeman, George Sarantu, and Tom Winooski. The rest of the 12-member Toledo City Council are Democrats, and they all voted, of course, for the levy to be on the ballot. Now the people have to decide. And if you haven't already done so, please drive around the city and see just how many parks we already have, and also take a look around at all of the decay, and you probably will conclude that money is better spent elsewhere. I'm in a regular neighborhood. Here's a park called Edgar Holmes Park, and not a single person. School's out. It isn't nearly as hot today as it has been, and yet the park is still empty. So, there's another abandoned house here. So they're going to still steal $3 million per year for 10 years, $30 million total, to additionally fund parks that people don't use. There's another abandoned house over there on the other side of that empty field. That used to be a business there. Somebody's tossed a mattress out over there now. This space here used to be Rusty's Bar and Tavern. It burned down, and it is now for sale. The lot is for sale for $5,800, and in my opinion it isn't worth anywhere near that amount of money, because look at just the amount of, if the city wanted to force you to repair all the sidewalks, that would cost a lot of money. So that property's probably going to sit vacant. Those stairs are more like a slope now. The concrete is just severely decayed. This is East Broadway and Vinyl, and I'm going to the Oakdale neighborhood now, because we're going to see even more recreational facilities, and I'm betting that they'll be empty too, but we'll see. So hopefully enough people to watch these videos, and other citizens in the city, just across the board vote against all of the levy requests that are on the ballot this fall. Not just the parks, but just vote against everything. Enough's enough. We're already paying too high. Our property taxes are already too high in Toledo anyway. So it's time to tell these crooks no, and that we've had enough. That's Oakdale School. You'll see a playground to the right of the school. See it there? It's empty. Swings, slides, all that good stuff. Nobody. I can guarantee you there are tons of kids that live in this neighborhood. And I'll also propose that it's time to start voting out politicians who are insistent on putting tax issues on the ballot and raising our taxes. There's Oakdale Park, the remnants of a baseball field. There's a basketball court without rims or nets, but there are swings and slides and a picnic area, monkey bars, all that kind of good stuff, and that park is empty as well. So what's that, 3 parks in less than a quarter of a mile? But yet in Councilman Steve Steele and Lindsay Webb's minds, we need more parks. So I say you vote against them too when they run for re-election or any other elected office. Now these people here have their own pool and trampoline. This is actually a pretty nice neighborhood here, considering that it's East Toledo. This is one of the higher end, nicer parts of the east side. And these are the folks that are going to be paying all these taxes, because this is mostly homeowners here. And then one other point I wanted to make, and then I'll end this video because I don't want to make this one too long, unless I happen to stumble upon another park. There's another person that has their own pretty nice setup swimming pool for their kids. There's another pool over here on the right. Another trampoline. So obviously these folks don't care whether or not we have parks because they have their own things. There's another playground area. I'd like to propose one other thing that I believe will help change the minds of some people who are chronic yes votes for these stupid levies. You have to explain to some folks that just because you don't own a house, that doesn't mean that you aren't going to be paying, quote unquote, paying for these levies. Because if you're renting a house and the owner's property taxes rise, it makes sense that they're going to raise the monthly rent. And if you do own rental property, you should tell your tenants that, so maybe they'll vote against at least some of these property tax issues. I have a friend, and I know for a fact that he told his tenants for the past, he has told his tenants for the past couple of years, look how horrible this road is. Whoa. So let's put more money into roads, Toledo, instead of parks. Anyway, he told his tenants that if all these levies and things keep passing, if they don't get out and start voting no for this stuff, there's another pool, that he's going to raise their rent. And you know what? Lo and behold, they did go out and vote against the school levy, at least a couple times that I know of. So yes, there is hope for changing the attitudes and actions of some people. Same way if you own stores. You know, if you own a small carryout, just tell people, hey, look, get out and vote against some of this stuff. And if you don't, if these things pass, then we're all just going to be paying higher prices at our stores. There's another abandoned house. And we're back in a not so good neighborhood. And these are the folks that vote for all these stupid levies. So that's it for this one. This is Econ Cat 88 signing off from Toledo, Ohio, the pothole capital of the world, and numerous empty parks.